So, hello everyone, welcome. This is the second class of the 21 Steps of Consciousness. We will just give everybody a little time to join us. So, this is the second class of the series. Slowly, we will be coming in contact with some of the interesting and really important techniques in this path of learning. This is a beautiful technique I would like to share with everyone at this time, which will help most of us to gain a good level of concentration, a good level of being in the present moment. So we'll I'll just go straight into it. This technique is part of a series of techniques that we categorize as samatha techniques. Samatha is a series of meditation tools where the whole idea is to focus the mind into one place. You see, one of the most common issues during meditation is that the mind is already jumping in many places. We are not focused in the act of meditation. And this is okay. It's fine. The mind is kind of designed to do this. It's kind of designed to be active and have a type of let's say, awareness in a state of being very present, awake, or could be agitated. So whatever the case might be, the thing is that this is its, let's say, natural state in the lives of most of us. We are getting bombarded with information, with a lot of signals. Let's say we are a little bit further from nature than what we are used to be, or our ancestors used to be. So in a way, we need to kind of regain a state of calmness to our mind. So the issue is the mind is getting too many points of reference. So we are teaching it to, in a way, be divided, be in many places, trying to grasp and catch everything. So one important aspect as we are learning to meditate is to learn to be present while the mind is doing its business, or while the mind is jumping from one place to another. Some teachers use this phrase of the mind being like a monkey. I would say the mind is like a small drunken monkey. So not only it has this full energy and it's jumping from place to place, but it's also drunk. There's no coherence in what it's bringing up. So it's many different little things that are not necessarily connected with each other. And one thing starts and it's left kind of hanging there, and then another thing, and then from one place to the other and the other and the other. And we're always playing this game of the drunken mind jumping from place to place. The point is, we are really connected with this crazy monkey. We are really, let's say, we cannot find a kind of a separation. We cannot see that we are not the mind. So it's always this identification of the being with thoughts, with the thought process, with the mind. So this is an issue, because in reality, we are not the mind. The mind is just an instrument. It's there to help us deal with the world, to help us do practical things and so on, but it's not there to help us only to help us identify which is our deepest, let's say, core, or to help us understand and experience the world. So it's only a tool, and should be considered and handled as a tool carefully, but also at the same time it should be kept sharp and ready and relaxed in that sense. So no need to have it always in perfect, tensed, aware, sharp condition. We have to be relaxed in this whole process of connecting with the mind. So this technique that we will be sharing belongs into a series of techniques, as I was saying, that are called samatha. Samatha, all the samatha techniques, really their main goal is to create a kind of relaxation in the mind, to create a very sharp, a very concentrated focus of the mind, and keeping it there, but also relaxed. So the whole idea is to create this kind of basis of bringing the mind into one place, always into one place, balancing it. And one of the beautiful ways that we do this is connecting the mind with the breath. So actually, this process comes from another big series of techniques we call anapanasati, which is, it means the study or the work of with the breath, concerning the breath. So in order to help follow the breath, we establish a one-pointedness of mind. So we will learn to direct our attention to one point, one spot. This technique is actually a very ancient technique. It did not appear in our modern time. It's a very old technique. Supposedly the Buddha himself, Buddha Sakyamuni, the Buddha Siddhartha, the Prince Siddhartha Gautama, used this technique as one of the main techniques for achieving liberation. And we find it in many, many paths of Buddhism as a fundamental technique for relaxing and focusing the mind. So we need to focus the mind, and at the same time, we will learn to bring a level of shine, a level of calmness to the whole process. Actually, this technique, we can see it in ancient texts, especially a text that is very, very important for the tradition of Shaivism, and the text is called Vijnana Bhairava. You'll find many beautiful techniques there, since it's supposedly a collection of different approaches of realizing the self. So it's written in the form of dialogue or question and answer, and the principle of the universe in the form of mind or consciousness is being asked questions from the principle of energy of the universe. So Shakti is asking Shiva, the universal consciousness, for techniques for realizing the world, for realizing the supreme essence of the self. And one of the first techniques that we find in a great depth of 112 different techniques is this technique, the technique of focusing the mind into one place. So it's all given in a beautiful dialogue in a way where we are being given like a small story, where in the text we read, like the keeper of the gate of a walled, protected city remained at the gate. So the whole idea is keeping our attention in an opening in a body. The most preferable one is the nose. And as a keeper, as a guardian of this gate, keep observing. So we are taught, we are put into this position of observing. And if we will be observing at the opening of the nose, we will be observing the breath. So, like a good gatekeeper, we don't care what is happening inside the walled city. All we are interested about is actually finding out our present moment right now, observing every little thing that is happening. And we are not focusing in any way, only focusing on the breath, only focusing on this current of entry and exiting in the city, in our self, in our body. So the technique is really simple. What we will be doing is keeping our eyes closed and observing at the end of the nose and observing the air entering and exiting from the body. Nothing else is needed. It's as simple as that. We're just putting our attention into one point, this little point right here. So we are watching this little point with our mind, we are observing, and air is entering, air is exiting, and we're just being present with that. No need to judge, no need to expect anything, just being present in this little place right there. Also, a really important part in all of this is not really being concerned about what is happening inside the body, as I was saying. The air is coming in, but we don't care. We're just staying right here, just observing. So we're just gonna go right ahead and try it together. So come to a nice place in terms of keeping your body upright. So you just want to find the most comfortable position you can. So you're just being present in your body right now. And just observe how the whole pelvis is touching your chair, your cushion, wherever you're sitting. And just feel this connection with the ground. And try to accommodate, making really, really small movements, just really tiny movements, trying to rearrange the spine, really placing vertebrae over vertebrae, and creating a nice positioning, a nice straight, at least in your mind, line, putting the spine in a comfortable position. It is important to feel comfortable while you are doing these small movements and changing. You're always starting from the bottom and just going up and just positioning the body in the most relaxed posture that you're experiencing at this moment. Once you find it, don't change a thing. Just be there. And just be present with this alignment of the spine. And as you are feeling this straightness, this relaxation of resting with the posture, we will be shifting a little bit our attention to the rest of the body, making sure we are really comfortable. And if we need to make little adjustments, just do them. Try not to lose the alignment that you've just made in your spine. That's good. That's great. So now just be in this present moment and bring your awareness to your breath. No need to focus to a specific point right now. No, don't do anything like that. Just be aware of the breathing. And as you are aware of the breathing, just enjoy being here. In your house, in your place. And if this is coming up, accept being grateful for the body that you have, for the time that you have, this present moment, that you can dedicate to experiencing with yourself, with the world. And observe this nice pulsation of the breath, the steadiness of the breath, the steadiness of the body as well. And the more you observe, the more you're feeling grounded, more relaxed, more focused. The mind is relaxing more and more as the body is relaxing more. So now we will shift our attention to this little point between the nostrils, right at the end of the nose. We're just putting our attention there. Some of us might have a little bit of difficulty visualizing, and that's okay. You can even touch this point for a moment, and immediately your attention will go there. But don't be too rigid with the actual point. The whole idea is being present where the breath will be entering the body. So, as you're inhaling, breath is entering. And as you're exhaling, breath is leaving the body. And we're always paying attention at this special spot, right at the end of the nose. Inhaling, being present of the air coming into the body, the freshness of the air. Exhaling, being present of the exiting and the little warmness of the breath. And we'll just continue just like that. Observing the air entering and exiting the body. And that's what it's all about, being present right here, right now. Connecting ourselves with our breath, with this beautiful vibration of life, but really centering at the end of the nose. So we'll just continue with this for a while. If you observe of the mind being not so fully present, or if you see that the mind is wandering a little bit, then that's okay, that's perfectly okay. Just return your attention to the nose. There's no problem with that. Actually, you're doing everything as it should be done. You're observing that the mind is not fully present. So well done, and just keep on observing. Every time the mind wanders away, just bring it back and be relaxed about it. Be very relaxed with this. Always observing the entering of air into the body and the exiting of air from the nose. Always inhaling and exhaling from the nose. And I'm sure you've already observed how the mind is being more relaxed, is becoming more and more present. And enjoy as you keep on observing this pulsation of breath, entering and exiting, keeping the mind focused. And slowly allow the breath to become deeper, more joyful. Really enjoy this process. Enjoy this beautiful centering and relaxation, this focusing with no special effort, this beautiful concentration of the mind. Always, if you observe the mind wandering, bring it back. Observe the entering and exiting of air. There's nothing more. Enjoy just that. Always staying at the gate. Every breath should be noticed. No breath is passing without being noticed. Entering and exiting. Always remember to return the mind at the focus point as many times as it's needed. Don't worry about it. Don't feel upset that it's going away. Just return it. And you could take a deeper breath, making a sort of a distinction And just allow any tension to exit from the mouth with a little bit of sound. Allow the eyes to softly open. And just observe. No need to focus on anything right now with your eyes. Just be present here. So this is the first practice. I hope you're getting what it's all about. So if you have any questions or comment, please, you can post them in the chat. So this is the whole idea. This is a beautiful technique as we're experiencing together, to really focus the mind, to bring it to its observation, to its steadiness. And as you've seen, the mind it's doing its thing. It's jumping, it's coming back, and so on. And we should be, as I mentioned it many times, really relaxed with this. Because if you're starting to get upset with, oh no, I've lost it again, it's happening again, and so on, this will not help you to create this level of calmness and presence. So accept that the mind would be doing these tricks, and just be there. And be there, and return it, return it, return it. If you're having difficulty sleeping, this could be a good practice, because it will help the mind to calm down and focus it, and then slowly you allow yourself to fall asleep with it. And if you are doing the practice for that reason, that's perfectly okay. But if you want to create a better, let's say, environment for learning to meditate, a better focusing, a better, let's say, understanding of what is happening in your mind in the present moment, then it's really, really necessary that you do it in a kind of a relaxed and awake state. So choose a time in the day that you're not really feeling very tired, or the mind is not so busy at that specific time. So it's kind of an okay moment. And as you're finding your proper place where you're going to be doing your meditation, then start. And work with this technique. Really, really work with it. You can play it back and listen to the directions, or it's as simple as that, just being present in this place. And that's all. So just experience it. If you have any questions, you can always contact me. This is our second class of getting to know a little bit of the material of the 21 steps. So our next session is scheduled for next Friday at 8:30, and there will again be a free talk of questions and answers on the spiritual path on Thursday night at 9. This is all Greek times, so Athens time. So you just make your calculations for your local time. So thank you everybody for joining, and see you again soon.